and basically look at Sarah, and I'm going to be moving around, so making you look good. Okay, and then just start with your name and where you're from.
So my name is Innocenti. I'm originally from Italy. I have spent a lot of time in Boston and in several deployments in Latin America and in Africa.
Mm-hmm. And what specifically is your connection with OLPC XO?
So I have been a volunteer for a long time. I have volunteered for OLPC primarily. Sometimes have been contracted or at least reimbursed for my work. But and I have worked with deployments directly on contract with Nepal, Paraguay, Uruguay, and Mozambique.
And what was the moment that got you hooked on the OLPC?
That's hard to tell, but I have been hearing about OLPC in the press, in the Linux press mostly, when the physical things was being created. And I have seen the EXO for the first time at FOSDEM in 2007 in Belgium. And there was the moment when I decided to kind of drop everything I was doing in Italy and move to Boston to help.
What was it about it when you saw it that made you make that decision?
Well, I was kind of excited because I could see how the thing was very revolutionary. It had a potential to have a huge impact on worldwide children or worldwide education, and in fact it seems like I was right. We built millions of them. At this moment when I made up my mind on this, we were not yet in mass production, so it was kind of a bet, a very risky bet. A lot of people were laughing at us and were saying this is impossible, you want to give computers to little children in developing nations, this is not going to happen. But it kind of happened, and it's getting bigger now.
Okay. Do you think in all these places where you have the deployments, the kids' reaction the same?
There are big differences, but the biggest difference is in how long they have been using the project. Because the new deployments, like Mozambique, I'm just back from Mozambique, they have been rolling out over the past 2-3 weeks. They're still concerned with power, infrastructure, networking, the physical thing. And then deployments they had 1 year at least to play with the hardware. They kind of start to look at the software and say, okay, the thing works, but what can I do with it? What software is available? Can I update it? Can I fix the bugs? And after 2 years or 3, they start to create their own software because they want to support their own local curriculum. So they say, okay, I want to teach fractions. Is there something to do it? No. Then I'm going to do it. And deployments, advanced deployments such as Nepal, Paraguay, and Uruguay, of course, they do this sort of things. They have a strong technical team to help build the educational things that they need.
Well, but for example, in different countries, what thing the kids have to do with this, with the computer? For example, they think that he can connect with whole world, or what? What
so,
they expect to do with this?
Asking children what they expect out of the laptop is the most exciting thing to do, because depending on where they are, the answers vary very wildly, and especially children and their teachers in the most rural areas, they have the highest expectations from the project. Like a director of a school in the middle of nowhere, very far away from the city in Paraguay, she said that this project is going to convert all my students into engineers. It's going to give them a different future because they're not going to be old farmers, they're going to be engineers instead. And children who live in the cities are more spoiled by a lot of electronics and a lot of things. They have lower expectations, but still all parents and teachers and children are very supportive everywhere. Uruguay is the longest running deployment. The entire nation is using the XO already, and support is so high that when the government switched, the opposition had to support the project and to actually expand it to show that they were doing better.
What was one of the most difficult things that you went through, and how did you get through it?
Mozambique has been tough. I was unprepared, but African deployments are harder for many reasons. Infrastructure doesn't work as well as in Latin America and Asia. and the government also has longer times and bigger bureaucracy. In Mozambique, the laptops had been stuck in the customs for over 6 weeks. It was very frustrating. We were there for teacher training and technical training to the technicians, and there was no way you could do it with just 5 laptops. And we were very lucky to have 5 laptops with us because we weren't expecting to need them at all. Eventually, the laptops came out from customs. We had to stay a little longer, and over the last week or two, it was a big satisfaction. It paid off for all the time we waited, but it was really hard. So we need to plan ahead. Well, no, we don't need to plan ahead. We need to plan for changing the plan, because the plans never go the way you expect in developing nations. Infrastructure, it doesn't work every day. Sometimes you don't have electricity. Sometimes you don't have water. Sometimes you don't have transportation.
And then, what piece of wisdom would you want to pass on that you've learned through this?
I would say try to spin off the project into the hands of the locals. Don't give support. You're not there to give support. You're just there to share. You've been doing this longer, but you're not supporting, because support gives dependency. You really want the people there to support you at some point. You really want them to say, okay, I want to improve the software. What can I do? And you just hand off the keys to improve the things themselves.
Excellent. Thanks.